Hey there, how are you guys doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. It's a lot of fun to be able to speak with you today. The show is really quite entertaining, and I'm not sure it's really like something else that I've seen.
That's
Perfect.
great.
That's exactly what we want to hear.
So, where does the whole idea for this snake hunting, where does that all come from?
Comes from the state of Florida, where where like so many great stories, it originates in Florida. No, I mean, it's a real thing. It just they have a real desperately sad ecological disaster going on because they have too many pythons and they're destroying the Everglades, and then they've started sponsoring state not statewide, but the state started sponsoring these python hunts, and it just we started reading about them, and it seemed like a really interesting and evocative setting for a show.
When I spoke to some of your supporting actors, I asked them if they think people would see themselves in this story, or if it's just so outlandish that they couldn't possibly recognize, something, tangible and relatable. What do you think about that?
What did they say?
They said yes, that definitely there are parts of it. There are certainly things that are exaggerated, but that there are real people that are part of this story in a lot of ways, and things that are based on reality.
Yeah, and I think when we started reading about these snake hunts, what made them appealing as a storytelling framework was that it wasn't people who knew a lot about snakes who were entering these contests. It wasn't like people who devoted their lives to learning the swamps. They were regular people who needed money, and they needed money badly enough that they were signing up for what seems like a pretty insane thing. And I think that is ultimately what's relatable about every aspect of the show. Is it's about people who need money, and
Yeah, I think the specifics are unique to this story, perhaps, but the struggle behind it is universal, and I think I think a lot of people will see themselves in it.
Yeah. And Craig said what he thought was surprising, what might be surprising for viewers, that there is some really dark drama in there. How did you want to make sure that that was incorporated here?
We wanted it. I always think that, like, part of that drama is that again, we're telling a story about struggle and about about the how hard the world can be for some people, and you want to sort of, you don't want to have it only be jokes and only be silliness, but at the same time, I think some of that darkness is also a way of sort of making the funny stuff funnier, because I think when you make a show and it's nothing but jokes and everyone is silly, the jokes stop being surprising because you're looking out for them. And so what we thought is, you make a world in which bad things can happen, in which really dramatic, sad things are possible. Then when it's funny, it's really funny because you don't know what's going to happen. You get to a scene and you're like, this could go really badly or it could go really well. And I think that trying to keep an audience a little bit off balance is a thing that we both really enjoy. And I hope audiences like it.
Yeah. And I know you've worked with Craig before. What was what has been like working with him on this show?
It's been great. I mean, he's just a dream to work with.
What did Craig say it was like working with us?
Yeah,
before we answer.
Did you ask him?
Yeah.
I did not ask him, but next time.
Yeah. Did you? Which one of us did he talk about more?
He's he's an unbelievably talented comedic voice, and it turns out he's also a really great actor. And I think he has a real opportunity to shine as an actor in the series, which is really fun as a fan of his to watch him get to do. But it's been great. It's been great working with him. And then every now and then, if you work with him, he's like, hey, I'm going to play the funniest set you've ever seen at this comedy club. And we get to go out and watch him be super talented and funny in that set.
Or he invites you to a Mardi Gras parade, and then he gets pulled up onto a float, and then you're just standing around with nothing to do.
Did that happen?
It happened to several people on the crew.
That's
because he was always like, come to the parade. And then Craig just is always like up on a float.
And they're like, bye.
Yeah.
So maybe rivaling Florida for its craziness,
Yeah.
But I think this show proves above anything else that nothing can rival that, right?
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, it is really it's truly crazy. So when you start reading about the I know the show is really weird, but when you start reading about the reality behind it, it's not that exaggerated.
Well, I think a lot of people probably know you guys from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and I think that's a show that's obviously exaggerated, but still has, some very. What do you think the fans of that show will think of this one?
Well, I'm hopeful. I mean, I think it's for a subset of that audience. You know, my 10-year-old daughter is watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and I wouldn't necessarily want her to watch Killing It. Not that I'm discouraging anybody from watching Killing
My
It.
9-year-old daughters love Killing It. They're really into it.
Is that true?
Yes, but I think they're just being nice daughters.
You've shown them the scene with the pegging?
Yeah, I showed it to them.
All right. I guess I'm a good parent and you're not.
Yeah,
But
that seems like a
I do think that I think it should, hopefully it will appeal to them. It's a funny show with a very talented cast, just the same way Brooklyn is.
No, and I think a thing that really worked with Brooklyn is it was a show that was extremely funny and also wasn't, it's different because it was a sitcom, but it wasn't afraid to be very emotional. Like we really had big, strong emotions. And I think that's, we talk about the darkness in this show, but to me, the thing that is that I think we did with the show is we weren't afraid of sincerity, and that's a lot of comedies are afraid to have sincere moments of emotion for their characters. And that's a thing that I think was true of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and it's true here is trying to be funny and also just really make you care about the people.
Yeah.
As real people.
Yeah, well, Killing It premieres on April 14th on Peacock. Thanks so much, guys. This was a lot more fun than I expected, and I already expected to have fun.
Oh, that's what I think to say. Thank you.
Got you right there. You were like, that's offensive, but no, it's not. It's not. So thanks, guys. Best of luck in the future.
Bye, thank you.
Bye.